Doing something a little different today. Welcome to Jank Play TCG. My name's Landon, and here we play Jank. And today I'm going to be opening up some Star Wars Rivals packs. As much as I love Pokemon TCG, and I do, I also love board games. And Funko Games, the creator of Star Wars Rivals, has made some really awesome expandable games. Marvel Battle Worlds is really cool. Funkoverse is really cool. Kingdom Mania is okay. But Star Wars Rivals, I think, is next level. This thing is awesome. So we're going to open up all of these dark side packs, and then underneath are light side packs. So I don't know what order I'm going to open them up at right now. I should move my phone out of the way. That's so rude of me. I don't know. Let me ask the wife who actually bought all of these because she wanted them because the game's so much fun. Wifey, how should I open these? Dark side first, light side first, dark side, light side, dark side, light side, dark side, light side.
I think dark side and light side.
Go back and forth,
yeah.
Swinging between the two?
Yeah.
Okay, so we bought the whole display that they had at Walmart. These packs are $5 each. You get a character in them, along with some cards that are required to play, because there is a deck building mechanic to it. And the figures are really just, like, you could play without figures in the game, but the figures are so nice looking. So nice looking. So let's go ahead, and we're going to start with Dark Side, I believe, because we want to end on the light side, because, you know, light side wins always. That's how it works, right? So, first Dark Side pack here. Our choices, or our options for what we'll be able to open will be Count Dooku, Captain Phasma, here we go, Boba Fett, it is so blurry, come on, unblur yourself, maybe if I bring it down a little lower, no, there we go, perfect, Boba Fett, Emperor Palpatine, General Grievous, Grand Moff Tarkin, Stormtrooper Commander, Supreme Leader Snoke, TX-20, and then there's special holographic characters, or the holograms. And one thing that's real cool is that these technically aren't more rare than the other figures. There's less of them, so percentage-wise, I guess they are technically, but there's no rarities, no commons, uncommons, rares, or anything like that. They're all equally possible to get. So let's go ahead and open them. And it's blue, so it's a hologram character. That is Snoke. That is a Snoke if I've ever seen Snoke before. And the dice will look funny until you know how to play the game. If this video does well, I'll do a how to play if you want. It's not a digital game, it's only physical, but I'll still do one if you want. But that is a Snoke if I've ever Snoked before. Here we go. Here's a bunch of tokens that you'll need, and there it is. Supreme Leader Snoke. Can we open these easily? Do I have scissors? I have scissors! Haha! Thank you, past Landon. That guy's usually got my back. Not always, but usually. Sometimes he pushes things off to future Landon, and future Landon can't be trusted. So we're going to take a look at some of these cards that we get here. We don't really need to take a look at the tokens. You guys won't know what they mean until I do a how to play. If I do a how to play. So, Supreme Leader Snoke here. He is a Force user. He is a hologram. Holograms all have the same thing where end of round, refill your hand to 4 cards rather than 3 cards. 1 extra card is huge, especially since decks, I think, are like 20 cards maybe? I forget exactly. I'll have to take another look. But first, we get 2 locations here. Endor Bunker and Crate Trenches, you know, that salt planet in The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi's good. Hate me in the comments. But the Endor bunker, I love the art here. You really see it with the characters. It's kind of consistent throughout, and I just love it. Kind of chibi, but yeah. Characters moved here. Buy an action card, have +2 influence, a way to cheat influence and move if you need to. Create trenches, doesn't have anything special. So, Supreme Leader Snoke, specific card here. There has been an awakening. Place up to, I guess, 2 -1 tokens on Snoke. For each -1 token you place this way, move an ally to any location. So you place 2, you'll have three characters, so 2 allies, and you use that, you put 2 -1 tokens, which means there's less influence from Snoke, but you can move up to 2 allies to any location. That's pretty legit, actually, because sometimes you'll commit a character to a location that won't be scored that round, so you'll need to move them, and Snoke is a way to do that. Another Supreme Leader Snoke card. I cannot be betrayed. I cannot be beaten. Snoke has +2 influence this round for each enemy at a different location than Snoke. And then there's a mission where you can score the 4 points at the end of the game. You score everything, locations, and some of these extra mission cards. And whoever has the higher number wins. Score from hand if Snoke has at least 2 -1 tokens, and you score Snoke's location. So Snoke's this ability card gives Snoke those -2, and then you can score 4 points. That's pretty legit. I like the synergy between those. Another Supreme Leader Snoke card. For you, all is lost. Place up to 3 -1 tokens, so that's -3 on Snoke. Place the same number of -1 tokens on enemies in any combination. That's pretty cool. You don't have to place 3. It's up to 3. But then you place those on your enemies however you want. That's pretty legit. That's good. Imperial Trooper. They are. Blast them. Place -1 on an enemy at each Imperial Trooper's location. Alright, we'll check it out. Move an ally from an Imperial Trooper's location to another location. That's all pretty good. I like it. I like the synergy we have going on here. So, let's see. I'm going to load these back up into the boxes afterwards, I think. Except the figures. I don't want to do the figures because I want to show off all the figures at the end. But I might forget what box goes to what. That doesn't matter. It's got a card thing. We'll figure it out afterwards. So box 1 done. Now my wife did actually open a couple of these herself and then just close them back up, and so I have no idea what we'll be pulling. But yeah, it's fun. So we got hologram Snoke there. Next up, light side. So for the light side here, where's the sweet spot? Is it here? That looks good. That still looks good. I think that's just focused right on the box. We have Ahsoka Tano, a fan favorite, especially in this household. C-3PO, Chewbacca, Finn, General Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Clone Wars, Han Solo, Princess Leia Organa, Rey, and Yoda. I will say, the starter set has Darth Vader and Luke. So you gotta get the starter set for those characters. They're not in the boxes. And the holographic characters are Ahsoka Tano, Commander Cody, who's in the starter box, Yoda, and Princess Leia Organa. So, here we go. What do we have here? That's blue. That's another hologram character. That has got to be Princess Leia Organa. She'll always be a princess to me. Or royalty. She'll always be royalty to me. That's the quote. I watch Star Wars sometimes. That is a fantastic... I'm a little worried about the laser going up, but it still looks thick enough where it won't be too much of an issue with bending. With figures, that's going to be an issue with lightsabers as well. So, yeah. I do know my wife didn't look at all of the boxes. So, she'll still be surprised here off camera. But, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, scissors. That's what I was reaching for. Scissors. I know on most Pokemon YouTube channels, non-Pokemon things don't do well. I never set out for this channel to be exclusively Pokemon, but I've been doing nothing but Pokemon since I started. So some people might see this as a Pokemon YouTube channel. My, profile channel picture looks like a Pokeball. That's on purpose. I love Pokemon. But I also love other things like Star Wars and Marvel and whatnot. So we have Princess Leia Organa. So of course, Princess Leia Organa is a hologram, and all holograms have the same ability where end of round, refill your hand to 4 cards. So that might seem a little lame. You definitely will not want multiple holograms on your team. I personally like that because that means at least 2 characters on each team will be colorful, not just blue. And so, yeah. It also doesn't make them like super OP sort of thing. So, first off, location. We have Death Star Trash Compactor. Fantastic location, super memorable. I just watched the first Star Wars film with my niece, and I think she loved it. Although she already has the spoiler of Darth Vader and Luke's relation. So this location comes with only 2 total characters may be deployed here. That's crazy. So that's 2 total characters, meaning if you deploy there and your opponent does not, you can deploy a second character there and automatically take it. Now 3 points isn't the highest point value for a location, but that's still crazy that you can kind of take that from your opponent like that. So love it. And then we have Hoth Trenches. 2 trenches in a row, 1 salt, 1 snow. And nothing special going on here, ability-wise, but still 2 memorable locations for Princess Leia Organa. Speaking of which, we have a card here. You're my only hope. Move an ally to Leia's location. If that ally is a Force user, you may place this card on top of your action deck, meaning you can reuse this card next turn when you refill your hand. Fantastic. Absolutely love it. I recognized your foul stench when I was brought on board. If your opponent scores Leia's location, place 3 -1 tokens on each enemy there. Ooh, that hurts. That's gonna hurt your opponent for sure. Okay, so while I was watching it with my niece, my brother was saying how Princess Leia had a British accent at the beginning of the film. I didn't hear that. I watch a lot of Doctor Who. I didn't hear a British accent. Let me know if you did. Apparently he Googled it and other people have heard that. I haven't. I hear her speaking more proper, but not British. Let me know. Into the garbage chute, Flyboy. Ah, love that. Take the action of any card in your discard pile. Oh, that's also good. Being able to take old actions again is fantastic. And then we have a mission here for 4 points. Score from hand if all of an ally's action cards are in your discard pile. Interesting. I wonder how to track that. Do all characters have 3 cards? So then you just look for 3? I sure hope so. Because I'm not sure how to track that otherwise. So, yeah. So we have a Rebel Trooper card here. Open fire, place a -1 on an enemy at each Rebel Trooper's location. And then we have another card, Standby Alert. Move an ally to a Rebel Trooper's location. I like that because it brings up backup to that Rebel Trooper. So that's pretty good as well. So far, I think Rebel Troopers are just like separate tokens, but there might be characters with the Rebel Trooper tag, sort of how Princess Leia has hologram on it, you know? So, yeah, that could add some variety if that's possible. And if it's not in this first set, maybe it will be in the next set. Because this is just Series 1 that we're opening up here. Getting on the ground floor of this, if you will. I don't know where to put these boxes I'm done with. Off screen somewhere. Yeah. Wifey will take care of that. Back to the dark side. You already know who you can pull. I like the fact that they separate light side and dark side. It means that if you just care about the dark side, you can just get dark side. If you just care about the light side, you can get light side. So you and your buddy playing against each other, one's going to be dark, one's going to be light. You don't have to like be buying random packs and get a dark side pack and it's like, great, I only play light side, who cares, sort of thing. So dark side. Is that blue in there? That looks blue. That looks blue to me. That is Emperor Palpatine shooting lightning. We got Snoke and Palpatine. Fantastic. I guess Snoke is spoilers for, the movies. I guess Snoke technically is Palpatine, so we got two Palpatines in a way. But we got Snoke and Palpatine, both holograms, looking awesome. Just flat out awesome. I'm not removing them from their bag. Well, I guess I can ask. Can I remove them from the bag?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's cut them open. Let them breathe a little bit. Jeez, being so rude here. They also come with D6s. The star set comes with a specialty D6. Really cool looking and everything. So yeah, we will.
Get a special storage box for them.
Oh, we're getting a special storage box? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep, with figures, you gotta get special boxes and whatnot. Sorry, you were saying?
Oh, no, I was just saying so they don't bump too much and get messed up like the weapons.
Yeah, gotta be careful of those. Here we go. I'm going to put light side down here, separate from the dark side, so we can keep track of them. Let's take a look at the cards, shall we? Alright. And it is Emperor Palpatine. We do not need this. That's just like how to play stuff, So, nope, we need this one to put the cards back in. Haha. Aha. Aha. So, Emperor Palpatine. Here we go. Emperor Palpatine, he is a Force user and a hologram. Of course, having the same ability as all holograms. End of round, refill your hand to 4 cards rather than 3. Fantastic. Ooh, Galactic Senate Chambers. Fantastic. Love this. Love the fight between Palpatine and Yoda here. It is so cool. Characters cannot be deployed here if their influence equals another character's here. So, first one here can lock out some of your opponent's characters, which is really cool stuff. So, you definitely want to get here first so you don't get locked down. So, this is kind of a card you want to race for, Coruscant Entertainment District. Do you want to buy some death sticks? Yeah, nothing special here, but art still looking awesome. Funko Games does so well with art. Holy cow. Of course, it looks a little cartoony always, but so good. Emperor Palpatine. Let the hate flow through you. Choose an enemy at Palpatine's location. Wow, you guys can't see that at all. I think the light's really glaring there. With a -1 on them. -1 tokens. Place additional -1 tokens on them until they have 0 influence? That's Yahtzee, that's the game. You just won, I think. Like, that's insane. That is an insanely powerful card. I don't even see how that's balanced. Like, if you knew how the game played, you'd understand. Like, I don't see how that's balanced at all. You will pay the price for your lack of vision. Pay up to -3 tokens on an enemy at Palpatine's location with place up to -3 tokens on an enemy at Palpatine's location with lower influence than Palpatine. Palpatine has how much influence? 5. Oh, okay. That could be quite a bit. So that's really good. Give in to your anger. Place a -1 token on all enemies and Palpatine. You may discard another Palpatine card from your hand to repeat this effect. That's awesome. That is so good. Repeating the effect. Normally you can only play 1 action card per turn, I believe. So repeating the effect's just super powerful. And then some general Imperial Trooper cards. There they are. Blast them. I've gone over. And alright, we'll check it out. I've gone over with Snoke. These might just be the same. Period. They might just be repeating over and over. So, yeah. Good Palpatine card. Palpatine seems strong. Like, being able to reduce influence to 0 seems crazy good. So, yeah. There we go. And box goes off screen. Alright, light side again. Who do we have here? Now, that is not blue in there. Not blue at all. But it is Finn. I thought Finn was such an awesome character. I thought he was having an interesting arc going through The Last Jedi. I know people didn't really like his Canto Bite stuff, but I do think it kind of filled in some of the character a bit and the trajectory of the character, and then they just dropped the ball. So, those are my opinions on Star Wars. You'll get them this whole video. But here is the Finn figure. Now I can show them off. And they're not just blue, so there's actually like color to them, and you guys can see a little bit more. But yeah, I like it. It's a little basic, but I like it. You know, I like Finn. I thought he was an awesome character. Let's see if his cards hold up to my thoughts about him. Oh, that card art looks cool. I almost wish it was that pose rather than the pose we got. Just like the standard gun forward pose. Like him holding it up. Like, you know, I think that's a little bit cooler, personally. And then some of the shading that they did. It's a little weird to pre-bake shading into figures. And I think it's a little difficult for mass-produced pre-shading of figures. But these are, for mass-produced figures, way better than what I see of WizKids a lot of the time. So, yeah, I know you guys are finding out so much what I play and, you know, just how I play, like, everything under the table. So, Finn, 3 and nothing going on here. That's a little disappointing. I thought he would have had at least, like, Rebel or something like that on him. Yeah, so far, not impressed with the Finn card, sadly. Jabba's Sail Barge. There we go. When you deploy a character here, draw 1 action card. Alright, that's not bad. If you deploy 2 characters there, you could draw 2 action cards. It's not limited to once per turn or anything. So that's a great way to draw. I don't see what the connection is to that to Finn. But, you know. Canto Bite Raceway. Nothing special going on here text-wise, but still fantastic art in my opinion. So let's see if Finn's cards can make for the lack of influence and no ability or anything going on here. Alright, so first off we have, I'm getting pretty good at this. Finn has +2 influence this round. For each Finn card in your discard pile, Finn has an additional +2 influence this round. So if you have 2 Finn cards in the discard pile, when you play this, that'll be +6 influence, which is nuts. I love it. That's so good. Plus it's him, like, shooting the turrets on the Falcon. So that's cool. Stay low. It confuses their tracking. Double Finn's influence this round. If any ally's influence is 3 or lower, double it this round. So not only do you double Finn's influence, but you double an ally's influence. I love it. This stuff is fantastic. This, I think, is really making up for his lack of influence on his character card. Mission. Score this card if it is in your discard pile at the end of the game. That's awesome. You just need this in the discard pile at the end of the game and you get 4 points. Now the tricky thing is once you run out of a deck, you do shuffle the discard pile back into the deck. So if you're going through it too fast, you might lose out on these 4 points. If you go through it slowly, you might be able to get it, you know. Or you just have to go through the deck even faster the second time, you know. But awesome. Love it. Such an easy score mechanic, you know. I really feel like it's making up for his lack of influence on the card. So I think this is his last card. You know, one of the things that really hinted at Finn's backstory and everything in Force Awakens. I'm not who you think I am. Or was that from Force Awakens? I don't know. I was more thinking of You Don't Know Who I Am from the bar in Force Awakens. You may swap Finn with an ally. If you do, you may discard a card from your hand to place -2 on an enemy at Finn's location. I love it. It is so sneaky. Moving allies is such a big deal in the game because you have to assign your characters before you know what's going to score that round. So moving them becomes such a big deal. And then the 2 generic cards that we already know about. All right. We are only 4 into this. We still have 12 left. And this is already a half-hour video. This is going to be a while, people. This is going to be a while. There we go. Back to the dark side. Now, I believe we are getting to the point where even my wife doesn't know what we'll be opening here. Is this one already open? This one is already open, so we'll go with that one instead of me accidentally cutting myself on camera. So, I am almost thinking of like cutting this short and making it a 2-parter. I'm going to have to decide. It's General Grievous! Such an awesome villain. I gotta get him out of the bag. He needs to breathe, okay? He struggles. He's got, you know, some lung issues. So let's get him out of the bag. But such an awesome villain. And this figure is amazing. Like, even if you don't play the game, these figures for collectibles are so freaking cool. Will it focus? It's like almost there. It's focusing on my hand, not the figure. There we go. Let's turn him around. Look at that detail. Like in his legs and his lower back. His butt area. Yeah, so much detail. That is fantastic. And the lightsabers actually seem pretty solid. They're pretty thick. That one's a little bent, but other than that, they're pretty solid. I like it. Doing real good, Funko Games. Big fan of theirs. Big fan. I actually manage like 4 Facebook groups all devoted to their collectible Funko games. Like, yeah. I would probably recommend all of them to people, but only Kingdomania for people with like kids are really into Disney. But the figures from Kingdomania are also really good. Alright, so General Grievous. He's got 4 influence, nothing going on here. But again, the art, beautiful. Naboo Great Grass Plains. Nothing to do with Grievous, but when a character is deployed here, place a -1 token on them. That's not bad because everyone will be suffering from that there. It is worth 6 points, which is huge. So, yeah, love it. Bridge on the Invisible Hand. Again, that doesn't have much to do with Grievous. He's on the ship, but that bridge fight is Dooku. So, interesting. So, Grievous does only have 4 influence. That's 1 more than Finn. Come on. There we go. That's beautiful focusing. Army or not, you must realize you are doomed. Plays up to 4 -1 tokens on enemies at Grievous's location in any combination. Holy cow, that's amazing. Like, Grievous doesn't even have to suffer for that. You just get -4 from on your opponents, however you want. Crush them, make them suffer. For each card in your opponent's discard pile, place a -1 token on that card's character. Wait, what? For each card in your opponent's discard pile, place a -1 on that card's character. Oh, okay. So if like a Leia Organa card is in the discard pile, you place a -1 on that card, on that character. Got it. That's pretty cool. That's a good late game thing that could just wreck your opponent, you know? If their deck's real low, you play that. They have a ton of cards in there. Get a -2 on 2 characters, a -1 on 1 character. That could be amazing. Your ship is waiting. You may move an ally from Grievous's location to another location. If you do, remove up to 2 -1 from that ally. Healing those -1s is also a really big deal. There's one way to do it called the Bat the Tank, where you just remove them from the game for a round, and then they're completely healed, but then doing it while also playing is a really big deal. And then we've got the 2 generics, right? Yeah. Those are the same 2 we see with every Darkside character. So I do think I'm going to split this up into 2 videos because this is getting so long. And if the other one runs this long as well, I'll have 2 very long videos that people have to sit through. So I'm going to do 1 more and then take a break. And then probably on Wednesday you'll see the other half of this. Oh, this one's already open. Nice. Nice. So these are all the ones that my wife has seen, I guess. And the second half of this opening will be all new to her and me. So we've got Chewie! Chewbacca! Awesome. Man, that was one hell of a grin on him. Let me get him out of the packaging so you guys can see. That is one hell of a grin. Smirk? I don't know what you want to call it. Chewie's difficult to do in a figure, I think. Fur, I don't think translates very well to figures. We see that a lot with our pop figures and whatnot. That's why the flocked ones are usually so much better. Furred-wise, but I don't know. I can't make it focus. Sorry, guys. But still not a bad one. I like the detail on the belt going around him. That really helps. If you didn't have that belt on, I don't think the figure would look nearly as nice. Plus the gradient in the hair. I think it starts a little too early. I don't know. But that is a giant forehead nonetheless. I love the smirk, though. And Chewie is an awesome, awesome character. Phone just went off. I don't need a charity call. Let's check out Chewie's cards before we end this video, right? I think that makes sense. The cards, the plastic I keep. Move that dice out of the way. So here is Chewie. Let's flip the card over. 2 influence, super low. So he's going to have stuff to make up for it, right? So Endor Bunker. This is a repeat for us. We've already gotten this. Characters moved here by an action have +2 influence here. So moving, a big deal for Endor at 6 points. Super worth it. Maz Kanada's Palace. There we go. I said it right. 5 points. Nothing special. Except the art. The art's awesome. Art's always good. It's Funko Games. Art is always good. Alright. Here we go. Oh, okay. That's why we get the Rebel Trooper cards. They give us 2 tokens in each box. You need 3 characters to play. Each of these tokens count as a character. So one box you could actually, like one light side, one dark side box, you could actually play the game. That's $5 each, $10. I would recommend the starter set still, but still, that's so cool. Alright. It's not wise to upset a Wookiee. Definitely not. They can rip the freaking arms right off the socket. Like, jeez. Place -2 tokens on an enemy at Chewbacca's location. If any -1 are on Chewbacca, place -3 instead. That's pretty sweet. That's -4. Hold up. You double it if he has any -1. That's awesome. That's so good. Let the Wookiee win. Your opponent must move all characters from Chewbacca's location to other locations? That's insane. That's victory. Like we said with Palpatine, that's just victory. You just get that spot now. Whew, so good. I can't do a Wookiee yell, so I'm just going to go... you may move Chewbacca to another location. If you do, place -2 on an enemy there. That's pretty sweet. And then mission, score from hand if you take an action that places at least -3 on enemies. Now, Chewbacca's other card can put -4 on enemies. So that, if you play It's Not Wise to Upset a Wookiee, you can then score this card and get 4 points. Now, scoring the card does remove it from your deck, but that's still not bad. And then the 2 generic. There we go. So we opened half of a case of Rivals boxes, and next available day, probably Wednesday, but might get pushed to another Saturday, or might get pushed even further, depending on what's going on with PTCGL, right? So, next available day, we'll have a video opening the rest of the case, but I do want to show off the figures one last time. So we will start with Snoke, because I didn't show off the holograms here. Definitely want to show these off. Here's Snoke. If the camera can focus, we'll get some actual detail here. I don't know if you guys can see that. The scar on his head and everything. His eyes not being, straight across. The robe being magnificent. Then we had Leia. Here's Leia. Oh, that's looking pretty good in camera. It's suddenly unfocused, but she's like right at the camera lens. But yeah, hard to kind of see the face in the hologram, but that's kind of to be expected. It kind of just, it's blue on blue, kind of drones out. I love the gun. The gun looks super good. And yeah, I do hope we get a regular Leia as well. Next, we pulled a Palpatine. You can even see the lightning coming out of his hand. Palpatine. The backside's just cloak, generic. But the front side, even opens up a little bit in the front to see the inner cloak. He just wears dresses on dresses. But, he shoots lightning, so he's cool. Followed up by that, we got Finn. Here's Finn. I do like the face on Finn. Very similar to Chewie's. If this would frickin' focus. There we go. Oh man, this autofocus is killing me. I've tried turning it off and it does not work. But yeah, Finn is awesome character that deserved better. General Grievous, love the detail. Absolutely. You guys have seen the detail. I know it focused on him earlier. But love the frickin' detail on Grievous. Such good looking figure. For how tiny it is, such a good looking figure. I would love a show in this art style too. Like Funko Games just knocks it out of the park every time. They even have a cartoon for their Battle World stuff, their Marvel stuff. They have like a web cartoon that they do for advertising. I would love if they did something like that for Star Wars, you know. Anything Star Wars I'm going to love. And there's Chewie. Ah. So wait, that wasn't even half, was it? I gotta do 2 more. I'll do 2 more. Then it will be half. I miscounted. No one corrected me. None of you corrected me. Jeez. This is pre-recorded, that's why. Alright, let's get this thing open. Alright, dark side here. I see a lot of white. I'm assuming it is a stormtrooper. Just generic stormtrooper. No, not generic. Stormtrooper commander. Boom. I knew there was an important difference in Fallen Order and Survivor, the video games, but I did not realize there was that big of an importance outside of those games. Because it changes how much health they have and stamina and, how much damage they do and all that stuff. So, alright, let's take a look. Now, very similar to Finn's pose. That makes sense because Finn is a stormtrooper, basically, ex-stormtrooper. But he basically was. So it makes sense that they would shoot the same. They're trained the same. Probably makes it easier on the modelers and everything. The Stormtrooper doesn't have his foot up like Finn does. Yeah, Finn's got his foot up a little bit. So slight difference, but same pose overall. But the paint job on this is legit. Holy cow. Like I said, WizKids minis usually are not this well painted. They're usually messed up in some way. This is so good. So good. I could point out small, minor things, but it's nothing that breaks the character, Like I've seen with WizKids minis. Alright, let's check out the Stormtrooper Commander cards. Here, I almost ended the thing with having not gone through half. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. We don't need the tokens, we just need the cards. Stormtrooper Commander. Flip. 2 influence. Didn't Chewie have 2? Mm-hmm. So, lower influence. Jawa Sandcrawler. Obviously before they shoot it up and kill everyone on it. If you score this location, you may add 1 card from your discard pile to your hand. That's nice. Being able to reuse powerful cards super quick. It's a 3 cost, so people won't be that interested in it, but it is a powerful effect. Cloud City Dining Room. I mean, Stormtroopers stood guard while Vader had a family dinner. Very nice of them, 4 points. Yep. Up. Got 'em. They're fixed. They're fixed. It's good. Only Imperial Stormtroopers are so precise. Speaking of the Jawa Sandcrawler, Stormtrooper Commander's influence is now equal to the point value of their location. So that kind of makes up for that low influence there. Now it is just equal to whatever the location's point value is, which can be quite high, as we saw. Mission, score from hand if an enemy moves from Stormtrooper Commander's location. That's a super easy 5 points. You don't have to do anything. It's dependent on your opponent doing something, and then they trigger this, and it's 5 free points. Booyah. Up top, move out. You may move Stormtrooper Commander's allies to any location that will score this round. So again, we talked about moving being super important because you don't know what will score when you assign, and then you score later. So this just lets you move them all around to actual scoring locations, which is fantastic. Load your weapons. Your opponent may move one of their characters from Stormtrooper Commander's location. If they do not, place up to 3 negative influence on their character there. I like this because Stormtrooper Commander's influence is 2. If you're removing 3, that's 1 more than Stormtrooper Commander has. So if it's close, they have to decide, is it worth it to move and not take that influence, which hangs on through the rest of the game until they heal, or should they, and take the -3 to try to win this, or should they just move? And I think moving is the right answer, and that can possibly swing it to your favor. So, love it. And then the generic ones. Alright, so that's it for the dark side, because now I've actually counted. I'm decent at math. I can count. Apparently not today, though. To be fair, I am tired. I worked earlier, and I've been making videos all day, it feels like. It was mostly just the one. You'll tell from my clothing. I did the Mulligan video today, which is another long video. I'm just putting out long videos, apparently. And so it just feels like it's been multiple videos today, but it's just the one, really. Alright, last light side box of the day. That's blue. That is a hologram character. And you know which hologram character it is? Because I saw the card and my wife's gonna freak. It's Ahsoka Tano. Dual-bladed Ahsoka Tano. Ready to kick some A and chew some bubblegum. And she's all out of gum. Ah, man. We went to a book signing where the voice actress for Ahsoka, Ashley Eckstein, I think that's how you say it, was there. And she's just lovely. Everything about Ahsoka is awesome. We love Ahsoka in this household. She is not a Jedi, but in every way, a true Jedi. Love it. So well done. It even has like the markings on her face. It's blue on blue, so it's hard to see. But got the marking on the faces and all that stuff. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm going to hand it off to my wife. She's going to want to see that. So, not placing it here yet. But what one heck of a pull for the last box today. 4 more, or 8 more. It's confusing because there's 2 different things. So 8 more boxes will be open later on. Whenever I have an open slot in the schedule. I know I have an open slot on this Saturday. That I'm recording this on a Monday, so you guys won't see this for quite a while, but I know I have an opening there, so this is, unless something crazy happens, this is going out on that Saturday, and I expect the next 8 to go out on the following Wednesday. Yeah, hand that off. Bring this over here. So 2 holograms each side, and we're only halfway through this case. That's pretty legit. So here is Ahsoka Tano. Flip. Ahsoka Tano, end of round, refill your hand to 4 cards. She is a Force user and a hologram. So, let's see. Jedi Council Chamber. Light side Force users have +1 influence there. Not a fan of how one-sided this is, but it's very thematic. So, that's pretty cool. And then Coruscant Entertainment District. Nothing special going on there. Ahsoka Tano. You don't have to carry a sword to be powerful. Ahsoka has +1 influence this round. Check Ahsoka's influence now. Ahsoka's allies' influence this round is equal to that value. Let's see. Ahsoka has 4 influence. Not the highest we've seen, but definitely higher than Finn and Chewie. I forget what Leia's was. So that's pretty good. You can kind of bump up everyone. And it's give her +1 and then check the check Ahsoka, and she's equal to everyone else. So there could be other modifiers as well that could put it up even higher. And I like how she's a team player. Everyone gets it, you know? So even if they're not at that location, it could still be beneficial to do this to bump up other people. Even if you're not scoring Ahsoka, you could be scoring the other two places, and that could really help. That's just awesome. Love the team player aspect. I won't leave you. Not this time. Remove up to 2 -1 markers from an ally at Ahsoka's location. You may play another action card. Not only is it healing, but you get an additional action. Let's see, this is also a mission, so let's check it out. Score from hand if Ahsoka is the highest influence character, even if tied. Doesn't say at that location, just throughout the game. So that's both a positive and a negative in the fact that it has to be throughout the whole game, not just the location. And then, but she's got to be the highest influence. So you're already doing well with Ahsoka, and then you get an extra 3 points. So that's pretty cool. I don't like the score from hand. I wish it could have been scored from the discard because that effect is so good. It would be wise if you let me go. Ahsoka has +2 influence this round. You may play another action card. What is it about her playing extra action cards? I mean, it's super powerful. If you could play those two, you could play all 3 in a single turn sort of thing. That would be nuts. But even just that, plus the first one we looked at, +2, +1 puts her up to 7. Then she can make everyone 7. That's crazy. And that's just within her own kit. And then the generic Rebel Troopers. So Ahsoka, where did I put the bag? Did I already give it to you?
No,
I must have. Or maybe I accidentally threw it away. I'll check for it after I close out this video. So almost made a mistake and ended too soon before. Now we are getting close to an hour. If you have been here this whole time, you are awesome. I appreciate you. This is a long video, and watching the whole thing just really helps me out, keeps me motivated, and let me know what side you would play. Would you play dark side or would you play light side? Which side are you? Comment down below. Maybe I'll put out a poll when I put this out. That would be cool too. And let me know what your favorite character of the ones I polled were, and which one you hope I pull in the next video. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on my next opening, and of course all the Pokemon content that I have going on. And what else? Oh, check out the Discord where, we can hang out more one-on-one and all that stuff. And maybe I'll make a little thing in there just for Star Wars Rivals if you guys want it. And of course, until next time, keep playing Jank.